Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the 16th day of June, 2025. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope your family had a good weekend and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders, whose jobs every day it is to save lives, and those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia, people that are victims of pornography and child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create the demand that cause these industries to exist and meet supply. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, veterans, homeless in the United States. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Today I want to discuss Mitchell Roberts and how he can be utilized, or how the new coach might utilize him, because it's not up to me or you how he's utilized. But if you're talking about Taylor Jenkins and you're talking about Mike Brown, there's different ways they're going to utilize him. Taylor Jenkins is more geared toward defense, whereas Mike Brown is more geared toward offense. If Mike Brown gets hired, you're going to hear a lot about how much his offense is going to be good and how they're going to, improve their pace and scoring, and all that will be true. But you're going to be frustrated when you see they don't get stops, okay? Because focus is too much heavily placed on offense and not enough on defense. Championships are won on the defensive end of the floor. And so Taylor Jenkins would bring defense. Now, if Mitchell Robinson is a starter, okay, now last year, what's going to change? I can 100% guarantee you what one thing that's 100% going to change. You're not going to have Mikal Bridges averaging 39 minutes a game. You're not going to have Josh Hart averaging 36 minutes a game. That's not going to happen. You're not going to have that. Last year, you had Hart averaged 38 minutes. McCall averaged 37. OG averaged 37. Brunson 35 for Towns. That is not going to happen. In Memphis, the guy with the highest minutes per game was Desmond Bane, and that was 31 minutes a game. They played 10 guys in Memphis. They're going to play 10 guys here. Tibbs, of course, we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, really, Tibbs played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. He played 7 guys on a regular basis. Now, we didn't have Mitchell Roberts for most of the year, so we can't count him. He played 8 guys, including Landry Shamet. So you had Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. Let me see here. Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby. You had Cameron Payne, Cat, Brunson, McBride. Precious Achua played 57 games. And then you had Landry Shamet played 50 games. So really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys that he played on a regular basis. Achua was out for 21 games, as we know. And so, there was that. But you're going to have 10 guys play with Taylor Jenkins. Now, with Taylor Jenkins, he had Jaren Jackson Jr. starting at the center spot, at the 5. He also brought in Aldama at the backup 5. That was his 5. And LaRavia, those are the guys he used. I want to say this, too, at the outset. Sacramento had a very talented team in Sacramento under Mike Brown. A lot of talent there. And Mike Brown used it. It was led at the time by De'Aaron Fox. You had De'Aaron Fox, and you had, of course, Sabonis, right? De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis. Yeah, there was a lot of talent on that team. De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis. Who else? DeMar DeRozan. They brought him in. Keegan Murray. They had Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter. They had a lot of talent on that team. But the Knicks have more. The Knicks have more talent than Sacramento had. And Memphis had even less. You had Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, John Morant, and a whole bunch of dudes. And they had less. And I like the way Taylor Jenkins utilized what he had. He's going to have a lot more tools coming from the Knicks. I mean, you're dealing with, like I said, Mikal Bridges, who doesn't miss games. Josh Hart, the Charlie Hustle utility Swiss Army knife. OG Anunoby, defense, of course. Karl Anthony Towns, nobody can guard him. And then you're going to have, of course, Jalen Brunson, the reigning clutch player of the year, Deuce McBride, defensive demon. And then I don't know if we're going to have Achua back or not. We talked about that last week. I don't know if he's going to be back. My druthers would be to have him back. But again, I want to stress, it's not up to me. And it's not up to you. It's up to the new coach. Now, money-wise, there's $8 million under the second apron right now. But they have to re-sign. They got free agents. They got Precious Achua is a free agent. That's the biggest one. But then you're going to have Cameron Payne's a free agent, Landry Shamit's a free agent, and DeLon Wright's a free agent, who performed very well for the Knicks this past season. Particularly, to me, the most clutchest time was when Brunson missed a lot of April because of the ankle sprain, and DeLon Wright came in, and the Knicks really didn't skip a beat. DeLon Wright, Deuce McBride, Shamet held it down. And not only that, during the Indiana series, the times when the Knicks made runs, 10-2, 11-2 runs, it was Deuce, DeLon Wright, and Shamet on the floor, usually together, okay, when they made runs. They were getting stops, and then, of course, they had enough offense between them three. And then, of course, you had guys like OG out there with them. Sometimes you had Cat. Sometimes you had MitchRob and Ariel. They had enough offense to score so that they would make an 11-2 or 10-2 run. That was without Brunson. Oftentimes without Cat, they would make runs like that. So, to me, that was big time, especially in the playoffs. So, I would like to keep all three of those guys and make them part of the rotation again. Okay, I'm not trying to give somebody a chance. See, this is the thing. Some of y'all still on this, let's give so-and-so a chance. It ain't about giving people a chance. This is about winning a championship. Okay? When you win a championship, you're going to have a chance with about 10 guys. Everybody else is going to watch. Okay? Kolick is going to watch. McCullough's going to watch. They're going to watch. Anton Watson's are going to watch. Okay? That's who you're going to have. Everybody else is playing. Hukporti, I think he's going to be an important part of the rotation, okay, Hukporti. And I think Taylor Jenkins, if he's the coach, is going to utilize Hukporti very well. You're going to get a nice tandem with Hukporti and Mitchell Robinson, a nice tandem. Mitchell Robinson, in my opinion, is the #1 offensive rebounder in basketball, okay? He is disruptive just from that standpoint. And, of course, he's one of the elite rim protectors in basketball. So you put him out there. And then you bring Hukporti out there behind him, and you start Cat at the 4. Even though there's no 5s that could guard Cat. And see, this is the thing. People look at a snapshot and make it the whole picture. What do I mean by that? If Cat starts at the 4, he would not play the whole game at the 4. Okay, he's going to play some 5. And when he does, whoever's guarding him is going to have hell to pay. Okay, because Cat at the 5 cannot be guarded. Now, the weakness is Cat on the defensive end of the floor. Which, again, this summer we talked about, that's the game he has to worry about. Lifting weights and all that, getting in shape. Some of y'all are talking about he needs to get in shape. I don't agree with that. He's already in shape. He just needs to get his knee right. And he needs to focus on watching film and practicing on the floor where he needs to be defensively. How he needs to read offenses. Who he needs to guard. How he needs to guard them. How he needs to work with Brunson to cover up weaknesses. That's what he needs to be working on. Okay? But a Jenkins would get a lot out of Mitchell Robinson and Hukporti. They would become weapons without scoring. Okay, they will become weapons for the Knicks, very important weapons. And so, and of course, you still got Brunson, who can't be guarded one-on-one either. But teams are going to give 94-foot pressure to Brunson. You're going to see a new dynamic in the NBA starting this season where everybody's going to use 10 guys and they're going to try to wear down a guy like Brunson. And I love this. Why? Because it's going to teach Brunson. He cannot take on entire defenses by himself. The Knicks will play more as a team to beat that pressure. And playing as a team to beat that pressure takes pressure off everybody. It makes the game a lot easier. Okay, and you're still going to have your strengths. Like Josh Hart is still going to be able to get a defensive rebound and sprint the length of the floor and create problems for whoever they're playing by being that one man fast break. That's one of his strengths. He's still going to do that. OG is still going to be able to lock up people one-on-one. McCall is still going to be that road runner that runs all game long and comes through at the end. That's him. And it's going to be beautiful, okay? The only question is, are we going to have Precious in there? I don't know. I hope we do. But that's for the new coach to decide. I have a feeling, like I said yesterday, I think between today, Monday, June 16th, and next Sunday, which would be June 22nd, they're going to pick a coach. You're going to hear about them picking a coach. And I'm hoping that it's Taylor Jenkins. Because from the guys that's available right now, I've always said from the beginning, Udoka, Kidd, Jenkins. Then I was picking Johnny Bryant after them. And Johnny Bryant is fourth because he got no head coaching experience, but he's got ties to New York, right? And ties to guys on the team from Utah, ties to people in the front office. And of course, he wants to be a head coach, but he has no head coaching experience. Udoka is obviously not leaving Houston. Okay, he's not. Okay, he got a good situation. They're not giving him permission, and he ain't pushing it. So Udoka's going to stay in Houston. Kidd, Dallas has said, no, we're not going to give you permission. That don't mean that's over. Okay, that doesn't mean that's over. If Kidd wakes up this morning and says, you know what? I want to coach at Madison Square Garden. Okay, if he wakes up and says that this morning, then he's going to be in Madison Square Garden. He's going to be there. Okay, so that's the bottom line. But I don't know if he's going to do that. I can't predict if he's going to do that. I can tell you what, if it's between Mike Brown, Michael Malone, say, Taylor Jenkins, it's Jenkins. Okay, it's Jenkins. Unless he screws up the interview. If the Knicks want to win a chip, you need a defensive-oriented coach. Of the guys we're talking about, it's Jenkins. Okay, a guy that's not going to run 7 guys into the ground. He's going to play 10 guys. Okay, consistently. Okay, so, and of course, media lets the Knicks know every day this is a very important decision. Well, it is a very important decision for the Don. But he's been here before. He is the Don. I call him the Don for a reason. He knows what he's doing. He's not playing checkers. He's playing chess. And everybody else is still short-sighted and playing checkers. This kid, I call him a kid because I'm 64. To me, I got children older than Taylor Jenkins. And so to me, this kid is 40 years old. He knows basketball. More importantly, he knows NBA basketball. And he has proven he knows how to win with less than the Knicks guy. Okay? Mike Brown has had LeBron. He has had Steph. He has had De'Aaron Fox with Sabonis. He's had all that, okay? And he's never coached a defensive-oriented team, which is why he's never gotten out of the second round. Well, that's not true. He went to the finals in LeBron's second year. Though. He went to the finals. And I know we all see LeBron right now, but when in 2005 and 2006, LeBron was on another level, period. Just too much for most people in the league, okay? And he took a team that had nothing in Cleveland and went to the finals. Lost to a better team in Tim Duncan in San Antonio and them. But that's another story. Mike Brown is not Taylor Jenkins in my view. Taylor Jenkins is a better coach. He knows the game more. He's more up on the game, even though I give Mike Brown his props. He's been around a long time. He's a pro coach. He knows his business. But if you're talking about the New York Knicks and we're trying to win this chip, I'm talking about Taylor Jenkins. And if we get Taylor Jenkins, he's going to know how to use Mitchell Robinson. Okay, now, if Mitch Rob starts, that means you're going to have Karl Anthony Towns at the 4. If Mitch Rob starts, you're going to have Karl Anthony Towns at the 4, OG, Brunson, and Mikal Bridges. That's going to be your starting 5. You will have Deuce, Hart, and hopefully DeLon Wright and Shamet, and then hopefully, again, I don't know, Hukporti, or Precious, or both of them. That would be nice. Hukporti and Precious will be better than just one of them. But I'm telling you, Hukporti will be the backup 5. behind Mitchell Robinson. Okay? If you don't start Mitchell Robinson, which I prefer, because if you don't start him and you play him 20 to 25 minutes per game, you're going to get 72 games of Mitchell Robinson, and that means more wins for the Knicks. Let me say that again. 70 to 72 games of Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench is more wins for the Knicks. Two things I like. A second thing I like about Taylor Jenkins. He had two 50-plus win seasons, including a 56-win season. And I'm telling you, Memphis is not as talented as the Knicks. The Knicks got more talent than Memphis has ever had, okay? Even with John Morant. John Morant's a superstar. I ain't gonna, let's give you that. And Jaren Jackson Jr. is good enough to be in that class. He's always hurt, but he's good enough to be in that class. But overall, and Desmond Bane, I loved him coming out of TCU, but with Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, the Knicks got more than they got. And this kid, Jenkins, he would know what he's doing. I'm gonna tell you, if they hire him, he's gonna be seeking out towns, seeking out guys in the summer. He's gonna be so excited. He's gonna be work his game plan. Young dude like that, you're gonna be so excited to get his game plan and all his plans together and what he wants to get done. It's gonna be all that. So Mitchell Robinson will become a very crucial piece. You play him 25 minutes a game, and that's the pattern I'm seeing with guys like athletic bigs that could get hurt a lot, like your Chet Holmgrens of the world, and your the guy in Memphis now, the kid that's playing in Memphis right now. I forgot his name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. That boy, and they're playing these kids. They're playing these kids 20, 25 minutes a game. They're capping them at 30 minutes. Okay. And it's working. With Chet Holmgren, it worked fabulously because he was available all the way through the playoffs. He got hurt a couple of times. You're gonna get that in the league, but as light as he is in the behind, his first season, he basically missed the whole season, and so that's Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson's light in the behind too. He tried to put on weight one year, and it messed him up, messed his foot up, messed everything up. You should never try to do that. Just play within what your frame is. Mitchell Robinson is athletic. He's more slimmer for his height. He shouldn't be trying to put on weight. He should just try to stay in top shape. It's up to the Knicks to monitor his minutes and not play him heavy minutes, okay? Not play him heavy minutes so that he gets hurt. No, you want to play him 25 minutes is the nice number for him. 25 minutes is the nice number for him. So you play him 25 minutes a game and you get the most out of him. And the more he's on the floor, like Chet Holmgren, the more he's on the floor, the more wins you will get. And the more wins you will get, the better chances you have to win the chip. This year, they played Chet Holmgren. He played for 32 games. He played 27 minutes per game this year for 32 games. So he was hurt even this year. And then last season, let me just see here. Last season, and they won 68 games this year. But last season, 2023-24, did he play last year? Or was he hurt too? Let me see. Chet Holmgren. Yeah, he played 82. Look at this. He played 82 games the season before, 2023-24. And he played 29 minutes a game. See? He was only 21 years old. So that's what I'm saying. And Mitch Rob is older, not old, but he's like 26. And he's now wise because he's been in the league now. He's the longest tenured Knick. So he would know how to keep himself from injury. He would know how, all of that. So you play him 25 minutes, 27 minutes, and you get 72 games out of him, you're going to get a lot of wins. He's going to be a disruptor. And then you have Ariel Hukporti behind him, who is a very promising five. This combination is going to help the Knicks tremendously. Then you now have Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart. They're practicing. I'm going to tell you what. These guys are going to practice more than they did under Tibbs. Tibbs didn't put a lot of practice in. Tibbs was trying to preserve them because they were playing heavy minutes during the course of the season. So they're going to play less minutes and they're going to have more practice time, which is good because then they'll get to know each other more. And you'll see more lobs to Mitchell Robinson, more lobs to Hukporti. You'll be seeing a lot of that, a lot of more open shots for OG and McCaw. So I'm excited about this, but my excitement is based on the hiring of Taylor Jenkins. I'm going to be very honest. If it's Mike Brown, I'm not going to be as excited. I'm not going to be as excited. I'll support him. If Mike Brown's the coach, he's coaching orange and blue, I'm going to be behind. I'm not going to be one of these dudes whining about and overanalyzing every move he makes. But if we got Taylor Jenkins, I'm going to be with the pom-poms on that homie right there, orange and blue. Okay? Because I like what we got there. Okay? I'm excited about that. So I'm hoping that interview goes well and the Knicks hire that young country boy from Dallas, Texas. Now, Mitchell Robinson this year, if Taylor Jenkins is the coach and he's playing 25 to 30 minutes, he's going to be all defense. He's going to be on an all defensive team. There's no doubt, okay? Only thing that was holding him back is he could never finish a season without getting hurt. Under this system, the way the league is doing it now, like I said, with guys like Holmgren, and Edie, where they're limiting the minutes these guys play to preserve them and to make sure that they're around, come playoff time. Edie, Holmgren, Wembanyama, Wembanyama, all of them cats. The trend now is keep them under 30 minutes. Keep them under 30 minutes. And then, they'll be around for you come playoff time. And that's what you want. So last year they played Wembanyama a little too much. And guess what? 46 games he played. Got hurt. See? They're going to learn. You can't. And the trend now is to play these guys less minutes. Play them less minutes. And again, you're not trying to play them 15 minutes, but you're trying to play them. No, you're not trying to get them into 30, more than 30. That ain't the way. That ain't the way, the truth, or the life in this situation. See, the year before, Wembanyama played 71 games, and he played just under 30 minutes a game. See, Taylor Jenkins is smart. All head coaches that are good, including Taylor Jenkins, are stubborn. Some of y'all going to say, this coach is stubborn. He won't do what I say. I know, because you ain't the coach. But they're all stubborn. They all got their ways. They all got systems that they believe in. And you're not going to like everything they do. What I'm going to like, though, is W's. The more, the better. W's. And if I see some defense, especially if we start seeing defense on the perimeter against teams like Cleveland and Boston, if we start seeing that perimeter defense come up a notch, y'all don't know. It's going to be all kind of craziness this year. So let's see what happens. But Mitchell Robinson is going to be a key there. The rim protection pushes out the whole defense. See? So if you're afraid to come in the paint, that means you're setting up your offense at the top of the key, right? So then you get perimeter pressure from guys like Deuce, guys like OG, guys like McCaw, guys like Hart. You get perimeter pressure out there. And then you're afraid to get past them to get in there dealing with MitchRob. That's going to lift up the whole defense, man. It's going to lift up the whole squad. So, yeah, MitchRob's going to be important. He's not going to average a whole bunch of points. I heard some guys say, well, we need to get him more involved in the offense. For what? The greatest coaches takes the strengths of their players and exploits them for wins. Let me say that again. The greatest coaches takes the strengths of their players and exploits those strengths for wins. They don't try to make a guy what he's not. Mitchell Robinson is never going to be a three-point shooter, no matter what he shows in the summer. That's not him. He's a rim protector and an offensive rebounder and an elite defender from all 5 positions he can guard. You want to exploit that and use that. Never mind trying to add to that. The only thing he needs to improve on is his free throw shooting. We all know that. And he works hard on it. So whatever he gets is what he gets. If we can get him at 60%, that would be tremendous. Okay? So he's going to work on that. That's fine. But I'm not going to whine about it. He needs to go like I'm a coach or something. He knows what he's doing. And Taylor Jenkins knows what he's doing. We can get that boy to do what he does, do his thing, do what he do. We'd be in good shape. Okay? Cat, I haven't heard anything about him getting his knee scoped or anything like that. Hoping he gets that fixed, whatever the problem was, so that he can come back in the fall ready for Freddie with a full training camp, full Taylor Jenkins training camp, hopefully, and working with his teammates. I like what we're looking like this year. Key thing, the biggest obstacle for the Knicks this year is injuries. If they can stay free of the injury bug, and that means everybody's got to be in shape. That's the shape you need just to avoid injuries, to be able to go 82 games. The great thing is, like I said, nobody's going to be playing 37 minutes a game this year. That ain't happening, okay? Nobody. So you're going to have a nice balance of minutes on the team for 10 guys, maybe even an 11th guy, but at least 10, okay? So you can have a nice balance of minutes. Everybody's going to see regular minutes in the rotation, the 10 or 11 guys that he plays. It's going to be 10 or 11. And then that's going to also help avoid injury long term in the season, okay? Especially with your core group that will get you to the promised land. Your Mitchell Robinsons, your Anthony Townsends, your Jalen Brunsons, that will get you to the promised land. That's what you want, okay? So, yeah, MitchRob and Hukporti. I'm going to tell you right now, Hukporti's going to play. Some people, like Kolick, he may not play. McCullough, he may not play, okay? Dadier, he may not play. They're going to be playing Westchester a lot. But Hukporti, he going to play. If MitchRob starts, he going to play. And if MitchRob comes off the bench, he's still going to play. Okay? Hukporti going to play. He going to play at least 10 minutes a game under Taylor Jenkins. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay? So we're going to see him. And he's going to be an important 10 minutes. And if MitchRob starts, I'm expecting Hukporti to get 15 minutes a game. The more, the merrier. Now, he's going to get in foul trouble now. That's okay. He's a young boy. He's an athletic young boy. He got to learn. MitchRob is teaching him, though. And you got Bryant there teaching him. You got a lot of guys that's going to be working with him. Who knows what other assistants they're going to hire this year that may be able to help, you know. But Hukporti he's going to be an important piece this year. Of all our youngins, he's the most important piece. Marshawn Beauchamp. That's another video. We'll talk about him later. I'm expecting him also to challenge for some rotation minutes. That's why I said 10 or 11. We'll see. But for now, MitchRob, if he starts, Hukporti plays more minutes. If MitchRob starts and plays 25 minutes a game and Hukporti comes in for 15 and you throw Towns at the 5 for a few minutes a game, you're going to be good. You're going to be real good. Okay, the Knicks going to be really good. We just need to avoid the injury bug. That's really what we need to do. New York Knicks, if y'all watching me, please get yourselves in shape. Don't overwork yourself, but get yourselves in shape to play 82 games this coming season. The only thing that can beat you is you with injuries. Avoid that, and we're going to be good. The Knicks going to be held. They're going to be held to pay in the NBA in 25-26. You all enjoy your Monday. So.